Hi everyone, it's Sue. Welcome back. In a previous video I shared some Tim Holtz journals that I'm going to be working on. I've got 5 of them, and then I also shared these journal cards that I'd made using his snapshots and found relatives. So I thought today, while I've got them all out, I'm going to have a little bit of a play and see if I can make a couple more. Really enjoying these snapshots and found relatives at the moment, so not sure what I'm going to do. I just grabbed out some backdrops. So these are from volume 3, and I grabbed this pen out and took the lid off, but the whole top came off and gold ink went everywhere, but that's okay, we can still use that. It's a shame it couldn't pool all nice and neatly, but so I've just got some backdrops, bits and pieces, and we'll just see where it takes us. So I may even just speed the camera up and just play and see what I come up with, and probably catch up with you at the end. Okay. Okay, so I think I know where I'm heading. I think I know where I'm heading with this card. So I obviously chose the photo that I wanted. I just made it really grungy. I did actually tear the edges like I like to do, but I'm just trying to find some small scissors. I wanted to sew as well. So I have no idea where all my scissors are. So I ended up just flattening down where I had torn the edges back, and I can just clip the sewing. I don't care if the sewing comes undone over time, because it just adds to the whole vintage grungy look that I'm trying to go for. So I haven't snipped there. So, and then I can just roll that back, and you can still see the stitching underneath. I could have stopped and started again, but no, I just found that works just as well. So you'll see too that I've used this piece that I dropped gold on. It doesn't really matter. You're not going to see much of it, but it just adds another dimension to the card as well, if you get to see that. I'm going to distress the edges here, add some ink, and then I'm going to try and do maybe a little bit of layering, I think. I've got my red thread. I'm loving the red thread with these cards. So you can see on this one I've got the red thread. I don't think I've done it on any of the others. No, I haven't, but I don't know. I just love that look. Oh yes, I have. On Mr. Montgomery, I've done some cross stitches there. So I'm going to add some of the red thread as well. So I'll just distress and ink these. And you will also see that I've just, I don't know, I just thought, oh, I'm going to just tear this and just add a little bit more layering. And I've just added one of those number strips underneath the photo. So just another layer, it just adds to the card. So I'll just quickly ink, and I'm just using the Distress Oxide Vintage Photo. You can hear all the galahs in the background going to town. So it's after 2 in the afternoon here, and it's quite overcast, so they're having a ball in the wet weather. Okay, so I don't know, I have no rhyme nor reason when I do these cards. I just grab, I've got some bits and pieces here. So I can do some layering with this. So I probably do some layering down on this side because I've got that number there. I just want to add a little bit more ink around the edge so that it actually comes in on the photo, just to grunge it up a little bit. And I'm not precise about it at all. I just get in there and do it. Okay, so I don't mind that little bit of parchment paper. I am going to scrunch it up a little bit more, and I'll add some ink over top of it just to make it a little bit darker. Wondering whether to add a little bit of that, little bit of a paper doily, or I could even add it under this bit here. So I like, when I curl and tear the corners of pieces, I like to be able to add little sneaky bits underneath, you know, like that. Whether I use that, I don't know. I've got film strips, what do you call them, negatives here as well, so I could even add that. I actually probably like that a little bit better, so I am actually going to just glue it down. If I don't get in and do it, it's not going to happen. So because I don't have a lot of these left, I'm being very sparing with them, and I'm looking around everywhere, and hopefully I'll be able to find some more because I love using them. It's funny because not that long ago, I think I threw a whole heap out, which is very frustrating. So just bear with me while I fiddle along here. I'm just wondering whether to add it. No, I'm going to add it so it's just sneaking out like that, I think. So I'm going to just hold my finger there, and I'm going to put a bit of glue underneath. That's where I want it to go. And I'm going to wipe that glue up because I don't want to glue it down yet, because I might want to add some more layers. Wow, too much glue there. Okay. I'm going to go. So this is what I do. I just play around. I've got glue everywhere. And just adding different layers. I could even add that up here. Maybe. I'm hot and I'm cold. I keep pulling my sleeves up and pulling them back down. It's funny weather today. I'm sort of being guided by where I've split the card, really, as to where I put the layers. So don't mind that little piece there showing through. I actually do have the Tim Holtz lace dye. I'm just not sure. I can't put my hands on that at the moment. That might even be nice. Let me see if I can find that. No, I couldn't find it. Couldn't put my hands on it quickly enough, so I will just make do with what I've got, I think, today. So I'm going to just cut the top off that there so we can utilize that. Maybe something like that. I don't mind that. So this is how I layer underneath. If I like something, I glue it down. Because as quick as I think about it, I'll change my mind. Once it's glued down, it's glued down. So I'm just gonna glue this down a bit as well. And all this will be sandwiched in between these layers. There's glue coming out of there again everywhere. So I'll tear off some of these edges once I get the card put together properly. Okay, so what else do I want to add? I think I want to add... maybe I want to add something down here. So I'm just thinking maybe... what have I got here? Actually, I've got these little black tags. You know, and maybe just overdoing it a little bit here, but I'm just thinking we could have that hanging out the side and we could hang a dangle or something from that. What do we think? What do we do at this side? I actually think it's probably more balanced on this side. I think we'll leave that there for the moment and see what else. So I've got this, that number strip in a like the tealy green colour. So I might even just stick with one of those in the same colour. Just going to go with these. I'm going to distress them all. I don't need to stress all of this because it's going underneath the photo. Okay, now because it's going to be hanging off the edge of the card, I'm actually just going to really roughly ink that so that it's not showing white underneath. when it pokes out the back, if you know what I mean. I'll just show you. So it sort of all fits in with the theme there. Okay. I don't mind this. I'm going to distress that as well. Now, I don't need all of that. I know I probably could stick the whole lot underneath there, but I could probably use that on something else. So I'm going to cut that off. And I'm thinking like this can be something so I can dangle something off the side of the tag. Now, ink isn't going to show up on that, I don't think, but I'll do it anyway. All right, so this is too straight for my liking. So I've probably taken off too much now. That's okay. So I'm just sort of tearing and scrunching it all. We can always stick some of that back on there. There you go, let's stick that back on there. And then I'll just curl that down like that. And I'll probably just put a little dab of glue under there just to hold that down in place. So you'd never even know that I've torn that off there now and re-added it. So I think, let me have a look at it on the card. Yeah, so I think I'm going to add that about there. Probably straighten it up a bit. I'm really having a great time with the glue today, aren't I? It's just using way too much. Okay. So you can see, you know, once upon a time I would have thrown that out because I spilt that gold on there, and you can't even really notice now. There's a little bit there, but it just adds to it, I think. Okay, so I'm just going to add a bit of ink. Might even come in with some black soot, I think, on that, just to tie this in. And then I want this under here. Just something like that, I think. Yep. And this little piece I will also distress. So I'm just going to hold that down, and then I'm not sure whether I'm going to add any red to this one. I was thinking that I would, but at the moment I'm quite liking it as it is. I might get some of Tim Holtz metals and maybe dangle something from there. So let's just have a look at that and see what we think. Okay. I don't know. I think it needs something. What do we need? so I found this little key. I'm not sure whether it's a Tim Holtz one or not. I've got it with all my Tim Holtz bits and pieces, but don't quote me on that. Actually, I'm really not minding this at all. I do want to add a bit of black, so I don't have my black soot in front of me, but I'm just going to use the Ranger Archival ink for now. And I just want to add a little bit of black. I'll just risk ruining it. Just want to add a little bit to this. So see how it's just a tiny little bit grabbing on there. I think I want to glue this down as well, just to make it sit in place. So I'll just glue that and hold that in place for a second. It doesn't want to stick. Okay. So I don't want to add much, but I just want to make sure that I tie a little bit of that black in. Let's see, and then I'll add a little bit there. What do we think? I just stuck that in my ink pad. Just put a little bit of random black around there, so that's all. And all in all, I don't mind it, so I'm going to stick it down before I change my mind. So this is where all the bits and pieces all get sandwiched in together now, so it doesn't matter if they're only just hanging on by a little bit of glue. They'll all get sandwiched in here. And I won't glue that, will I? No. I do actually need to add a little bit of glue there. And I don't mind it. It's quite grungy. And I'm going to add this key. It doesn't really have any bearing, but I guess, you know, you travel, you still have to have keys with you to get home, don't you? So we'll add a key there. Grab a antique gold one. I'd like to add something else, but what, I just don't know at the moment. Maybe one of his tokens, one of Tim's tokens. I can never get these to hang right. It needs something, doesn't it? Bear with me for a second. Okay, so this is really bad. I was going to add a little eyelet in there because I think that that's probably going to tear through eventually. But I have got 2 crocodiles, and do you think I can find one of them? No. Okay, I found one in a drawer that is labelled crocodile. Go figure. I don't know where the other one is, but anyway, I've got one. So let's see if we can, this might be too big for it. This is the smallest eyelet I've got though. No, it's going to fit, but we've cut off the M for May, but that's okay. it doesn't matter. There we go. I'll be a bit happier about that. It won't tear through as easily then. So, and we'll just add it to this. I'm not going to worry about an eyelet for the black tag. And then we'll just tip that around like that. So there we go. I don't know. Don't know that I'm even actually very happy with that. Needs a bit more color or something, I think. I think for the time being, I'm actually going to leave this off because I'm not 100% happy with it. And maybe when I put it into one of the journals, something will click and say add something in particular. But otherwise, I'm not unhappy with it. So you can see all the detail. I love those negatives. Need to find more. And the back, and I have actually stuck that in my stamp pad, but that's okay. I can even stamp something up there if it's bothering too much. Put some washi tape. It all works out in the end, doesn't it? So I will just ink around the back here. So that is pretty much ready to go in one of the journals. And you can see why I inked the back, just because that's sort of floating outside there. And it's not all white now. It sort of all blends in. So there we have that one. So I might just quickly do another one and see what I come up with. Okay, so I did grab a few other photos. What have I done with them now? Get myself in such a state. Hope you guys are the same and it's not just me. I know it's not just me. Just been away, as I said, with two friends, and you should have seen the state of the dining table with the three of us creating on it. It was pretty full on. Okay, so I like this sweet little girl, so I'm going to actually use her. And I think got some other backdrops here. I don't know which volume these ones came out of. Do I want to use those? Okay, so I found some of the wallpaper for this young lady, and I'm thinking, just because with the tones of the photo, I'm thinking I like that. And then I could even matte it again with the pink, which I don't mind. I'm thinking I don't mind it. No, I don't want that one. Just thinking this is too, maybe too clean. That's what I'm trying to say. No, let's maybe just use that. That's sort of talking to me at the moment. So I think I want to cut these down. So this is going to end up being quite a large or larger journaling card. So I'm just going to mark a couple of places. Cut down that one first. That's the first layer. Okay. Now, I always struggle because I've got to cover up the writing and that, but I like that colour of pink, so I'm just going to cut it and just do it. So I'll just cut on that crease line there, probably about there. All right. Maybe we can do it that way and then have that just on the back. Then I don't lose all that. What do we think? I actually think I might like that. I'm probably going to bring in some pink ribbon or something, I think, as well. Yeah, I think we can do that. All right. So I'm not going to back this one. I'm going to leave the pink as the background, so it's more a decorative journaling card, I guess. Well, it's not a journaling card, is it? It's a decorative card. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around and sew these, and then I'm going to distress them and ink them, and then I'm going to have a look at what I want to do from there, and we'll do some layering and bring in some of the pinks just to sort of brighten the card up a little bit, I think. So yes, I will head off, stop fiddling around, head off and go and sew this and distress and ink them, and I'll be back. So really, really roughly sewn around all of those. The backing card, I added a few tufts of thread, you can see there. Just cut that so it sticks out a bit. And as I said, I will distress and ink around them. So I've sewn on all 3 layers and I'll leave my threads hanging. I'll just quickly and very roughly distress all the edges. So you will have seen that I was really rough with this. I wanted it to look like it was wallpaper that had been taken off the wall. So I didn't want it to be perfectly flat. And once again, it's fairly, the fairly neutral background, but we're going to add some pink ribbon, I think, somehow to this, maybe. I might even sew a ruffle, use it as a ruffle. And maybe add some flowers. I've got, I actually do have the Tim Holtz Botanical die cut somewhere. Oh my goodness, I've just got a mess everywhere. So I'm going to use just maybe something that I have fussy cut for now. I'm thinking a rose would be really nice. I always tend to just go for roses. It's just my go-to. So there's a couple. We'll have a look at, pull a couple out and then we'll see. All right, I'm not going to give myself too much choice because I'll get overwhelmed. So I think I will actually go and sew some of this because that goes quite nicely with those flowers. I'm going to sew some of this into a ruffle. So I sewed a really rough ruffle. Try and sew that really fast. But it will suffice. Okay. So I'm thinking, what am I thinking? Thinking of trying to have those layers all pretty much the same distance. And I was thinking I could add maybe the ruffle down here somewhere. Something like that maybe. I don't mind that actually. So I'm going to cut that off. I'll pop that aside because I'll use it on something else. I'm thinking just sort of on the bottom there and just overhanging on that photo. And then what flower do I want to use? Note that covers up the dog. Okay. I think that this might be the one. So I'm going to ink around that. We'll use that one. Just want to get rid of some of the white edges is all. I'm really quite rough when I ink. I just get in and it doesn't matter if it goes too much into the image. Cover up some of those white bits. So I'm liking that to start with. I just really love the negatives. I know I keep using them, but I'm just really loving how they look. So I'm just wondering whether to do like a tab. On the side of this one so that we have got the opportunity to hang something again as well if we want to. What do we think? I really don't mind that. So I'm thinking that I might just glue that down in place. Do one side and then do the other. Starting to get quite cool here and I can smell someone has lit their fire. I've got the window open behind me just to get some air moving around the room, but it's really cooling off and I can smell someone's smoke from their chimney coming in. Might have to close the window soon, otherwise it'll permeate all on my craft supplies and I don't want that. Okay, so that is crooked as anything. Oh my goodness. So I'm going to probably, I think, stitch down that edge. At least that's in place there, and it still looks quite nice from the other side as well. So that there, that there. I'm just thinking I want to do a little bit more layering. I need to get rid of those because they're distracting me. Put this up the right way so that can sit there. Now if I do that, I'm going to ink just the edges because some of these edges will actually be popping out the back. I did have these as well. Do I want to add something like this? Maybe I'll cut this off. Let me just ink this. I'm not going to need all that. So I just love all these little snippets that can be used in collage and all your different layering. So may as well snip it off and use it, reuse it again. So this is a little bit cream in colour. Oh, I don't need to be doing that because I'm going to glue that. So I'm going to really roughly ink this as well and bring in some of the colour onto the cream card. Just want to bring that in there. Let me just see how this looks on here. I'm probably driving you all mad. You're probably all just saying, just stick it down. Just stick it down. I don't find layering very easy, and I just find it way easier if I do it this way. I have seen some amazing creatives that just manage to just put it down and stick it down and it looks amazing. So, you know, I'm actually going to, I don't want all of that now. I just want that, the number. So just so that that sneaks through like that. And I'm going to glue that down. Add a little bit of glue just there. And just have that sneaking through there like that, I think. Maybe. Yeah, that's cute. That's better than having all the cream hanging down there. That. Okay, so let me put these away. Oh, there was a pink one. You know what? I think I actually like that on there as well. I'm going to snip the top of that off. Glue that like that. So this won't necessarily be used to hang anything from. I might yet, but I'll hang more so from the negative there. Okay, I like that. I'm going to glue that layer down. Okay. I'll glue it down up the top here. Okay. And I still want some of that to look buckled. So way too much glue on there again. It's the story of my life, isn't it? Just want to make sure that that label and that little tag top of there is stuck down. Okay, so I like that little cluster there. A little bit of ink. So yes, I'm liking how this is coming together now. And I think that that can just go like that. So I'm going to stick the photo down I quite like how that's looking, so I'll stick that down as well. I'm so glad that I managed to keep that pink background because I love that. Pink's, can you tell pink's my favorite color? So that's looking really nicely. I like that. Okay, so that's that. And then I was going to keep putting that flower upside down. I think I'll stick this down now, and then I can glue the rose down. I don't know which is the right and which is the wrong side. I don't think it really matters. Okay, just glue it down. And I'm just putting it so that it goes over the photo a bit because I don't want to cover up this bit of sewing, and so you can still see a bit of that layering there. And then I think I'm going to glue this flower just like that, I think. Oh my goodness. The ruffle hasn't stuck, and now I've got glue all over the photo, and oh boy, got the flower upside down again. Okay, so we'll just tuck that in behind there, and I just want the leaf just sort of hanging over the ruffle there a bit. And I think I've added glue to the back here, which I didn't need to. It's okay, we can just wipe that off, add a bit more ink. And I think she's quite cute. Maybe we could have had like a little bit more of a 3D flower, but I'm quite happy with it, I think. Managed to make a big mess, but I have actually created something, so I hope you enjoyed that. I will probably hang something from there, maybe some little charms or something, because the negative has the holes in the bottom there. Or I could even hang them from the top. I could even, for that matter, hang something by a bulb pin from here if I wanted to balance that out a little bit more. But once again, I will leave that until I actually put them into the journal. All in all, I am pretty happy with the way that these have turned out. So I'll just show you up close again. So I really like this one. And then there's this lovely young lady here. And I really love that on the back. And that's the back for that one. All right, so I hope you enjoyed that. I am really keen to get into these Tim Holtz journals and get some more done. So you will probably see me fiddling around a little bit more in the future with them. So I hope you enjoyed that video today, and I hope you get to be a little bit creative and maybe use up some old photos, or if you've got the Tim Holtz snapshots or found relatives. I was scared of using them. I don't know why, just because they intimidated me, but I'm actually really loving how all these cards are coming together now. So I'll be definitely using more and more in my journals. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me. Take care, and until next time, I hope you get a little bit of creative time in. See you soon. Bye-bye.